Hi guys, happy Wednesday. Coming to you for your 5-minute motivation today. I realized that I forgot to do this yesterday. That's kind of how long and stressful my week has been. Last week I forgot to do it on a Friday, so I'm going to recommit to you guys 3 to 4 days a week. I'm going to do 5-minute motivation, and maybe not necessarily through the week, because last weekend was the first weekend after I had committed to doing it, and I realized I had a little bit more time on the weekend than I have during the week, so I shouldn't really factor those days out. So you'll get it 3 to 4 days a week. Today I was really struggling with what to talk about because I have had a really long and stressful week, and I feel like I'm barely keeping my head above water. So the idea of coming on here and helping you guys rock out your lives, I felt slightly incapable of doing. I didn't feel like I was leading by example very well in that regard. I'm pretty overwhelmed at the moment, but so I kind of volleyed this out to Facebook world. On my personal Facebook page, I asked what you guys need to hear about in terms of motivation, what you're struggling with right now. And the two responses I got were balance and stress management. And I actually laughed out loud. I LOL'd, because those are the two things I'm struggling with right now. So I guess I'm not alone. That's something to take comfort in. But I'm also definitely not the expert on balance or stress management. So I'm going to dive into balance, some of the things that I do or try to keep in mind when it comes to balance. So this will be as motivating for myself as it will be for anyone else. And then I'll dive into stress management tomorrow. Being that I only have 5 minutes, I know that I'm going to talk too long if I try to tackle both topics at once. So balance. I guess I'm going to start out by saying balance is a myth. Balance is unattainable. And I know that that sounds defeatist to say, but one of the things that I have learned is that we try a lot to balance our work and our lives, but what we need to be working on is prioritizing our work and our life at any given point. So things don't always need to be in balance. They actually need to be prioritized instead. So that's something that I keep in mind on a daily basis, is making sure my priorities are set. I definitely struggle with balance, being that I have a full-time job as a manager of a call center. I have a part-time job as a Beachbody coach, and I'm a mother of an amazing 9-year-old boy who's halfway to adulthood. And I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, and all of those things are in competition with each other. So the last month or so is probably a good example of this. So prioritizing work and life. One of the things that I've realized is that I really need to continue to evaluate the priority on even any given day. So one of the things I recently did was I took a new job at the same company that will allow me time to get my son off the bus. I keep saying that as if he rides the bus. Pick him up from school, bring him home, have dinner with him, do his homework with him, and then I'm going back to work. So I'm working a very weird split shift. But what I realized was I'm missing out on a critical time of day for my kid. When you're a baby, there's certain things that are priority. You know, that's when like bath time, bedtime's a priority. You know, the toddler years are one thing. At Noah's age, the priority really is being that person who reviews how school's going, keeps connected to what's going on at school. And I realized the last couple of school years that I missed that part, because by the time I get him to pick him up, he's already gone over his day with someone, he's already done his homework, he's already eaten, he's already involved in whatever recreational activity he's doing. I'm already at 4 minutes and 45 seconds, so this one's gonna probably go a little bit long. And he doesn't really have, you know, the energy or the desire to go back over everything with me. So I stay a little bit out of the loop. And as a mom, that's really hard for me. So I have been really trying to think creatively on how to get that time. So I was able to actually switch jobs into a shift that gave me that window. And most people think I'm insane because I'm going to be working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with a break in the middle. But again, balance, the elusive balance, it's prioritizing. So I know that I need to work a full day to be successful in my job, but I do know too that 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. hour is critical. So I'm going to be working 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And again, most people wouldn't think that was balanced, but that's as close as I can get. So it's all about prioritizing. There have been, like for August, so because I'm taking this new job, August is really hectic. So right now my job honestly is a top priority for me. So like school supplies shopping, that was not something that I was going to be able to devote much time or energy to. So I got help for that. My mom took him school supply shopping, got him his new pair of tennis shoes for his next school year. She got that taken care of so that I could focus on work this month because work is crazy this month. And then come September, I'll be able to pick him up from school and I'll be able to kind of reprioritize that piece. So that might sound awful to some of you parents, like school supply shopping is so critical. How could you possibly opt out of doing that? But I think the key to balance is figuring out the impact of the choices that you're making really hard choices, prioritizing things on a daily basis, and getting help. So Noah didn't care if I shopped for his school supplies or grandma shopped for his school supplies with him. He just needed school supplies. So, the impact of choosing work over school supplies, to Noah was minimal. Getting help, I think, is important. I know some people don't feel like they've got support. I guarantee you, when you're having a bad day, there's 5 people in your life who's willing to give you a hand, and it's allowing those people to give you a hand. Ironically, the person who asked me to do a video about balance is one of the people who are currently bailing me out while I have to focus on work in August. So yeah, using your resources, prioritizing constantly. I mean, your priorities can shift on a day-to-day basis, and I think that's the closest thing you can get to balance, is figuring out what needs to take precedence today. So I'm already at 8 minutes. This is a total fail in terms of 5-minute motivation, but the points that I wanted to make are important, and I'll take a stab at stress management tomorrow. Have a good night.